Let's talk networking. 85% of the jobs nowadays are found through networking. Networking is extremely important. It's actually one of the first steps to finding a career. So rather you're 2 years out from transitioning or 90 days, it is important to really build that network. So networking can help in quite a few different disciplines. The first one being it can give you insight into different roles and responsibilities. If you reach out to different employers or different individuals working for companies that you could see yourself working for and find out that day in the life, you could really see if this role is the right fit for you. You're opening up so many doors for yourself. So when it comes time to transition, you have those connections, you have the means necessary. Additionally, building the networking does help even with the interview process. If you've talked to multiple parties at an organization, it gives you that behind the scenes view of what the day in the life is all about and what you can really use to premise not only your tell me about yourself, but also your questions around. Now, with networking, there's a few means of course, moving forward with the networking process. One would be to attend different networking events, to include the DAV Recruit Military Job Fairs. Another means would be to establish your LinkedIn account. And then of course the final means is just to start broadening your social media and your exposure to different organizations and different professionals. Now, for your LinkedIn account, we'll go over real quick how to really establish that LinkedIn account. Before establishing your LinkedIn account though, I would recommend checking out the resume building video. Once you have your resume constructed, it is really easy to just do a quick copy and paste of most of the content. Now, for your LinkedIn, let's start off with the photo. For your photo, you want your picture to be extremely professional. This is not a Facebook picture. Instead, it is your professional representation. So stay away from using military uniforms because that was the past. So civilian, suit and tie is usually the best bet, or just something extremely professional, a nice business dress, really anything that makes you feel like that professional is best. Also, for the picture, make sure to smile. You want to be likable. Again, you're not in the military anymore, so throw out that military bearing and instead be likable. Now, after your photo, let's get into that cover, that backdrop. For your backdrop, you want the backdrop to be as basic as possible. You don't want anything that will take away from your actual profile. Now let's go to your name line. Your name line should be very basic, as mentioned with the resume. You want to make sure that you don't include redundant information that is already in the content of your actual LinkedIn account. Also, you do not want to include rank. Rank isn't universal between the different services, and it is definitely not universal in the civilian sector. Okay, under your name, you have your tagline. Your tagline is what will catch the reader's attention. If you are transitioning out of the military and you've already submitted your paperwork, feel free to put that word transitioning before your tagline. If you put that word transitioning, you will show up on a lot of the recruiters' radar. Now, for that tagline, think of something that is universal, maybe multidisciplinary operations leader, something that really correlates to your background and the direction that you want to go with your future employment. After the headline, let's move down a little further into the summary section. Really, the summary section is an all-encompassing description of your background and where you want to go. So what I'd recommend doing is highlight your experience section and take out those key skills that you really want to up front. So rather it be your ability to manage lifecycle projects or to incorporate process improvement throughout multiple disciplines. That's the type of information to include. You can also include keywords and phrases from set job descriptions. Now, after you outline a summary, it is perfectly fine to include an objective statement. That lets the person viewing your profile know when you're available, what type of roles you're interested in, and where you want to live. This will save the recruiter's time, and it will really help to narrow down your search just a little bit more. Now on to your experience section. Your experience section really is the meat and potatoes of your entire career. And your experience section will be depicted in a reverse chronological order. So your more current experience will be, of course, front-loaded and then chronologically further down. Now for your experience section, really what you can do is just copy and paste your resume. And when doing so, you want to make sure that you focus on key quantifiable information that really sets you apart. When outlining this experience section, start off with that strong action verb, get into the quantifiable information, and then the result. That is the best way to depict your experience. Now, once you construct your LinkedIn page, here's one thing to keep in mind. Make sure you start building professional connections. You do want to build your connections, though, only with actual professional entities. So again, this is not Facebook. This is something that will really get you out there in a professional manner. So connect with the right people. But connecting with the right people means connecting with multiple people as well. You will not show up on a lot of radars as a second or third connection unless you have 501 contacts. That is the magic number, 501. So what I'd recommend doing is starting to search for different employers and find at least 501 before hitting the ground running. Now, in addition to really expanding upon your connections, also include different key skills and have different people endorse your skills as well to show that you are that leader, that you do have extensive experience in project management, that maybe you do have military experience. So again, elaborate on your skills and have people endorse those skills. Different individuals can also add recommendations and just really provide more insight into what you have offered in either a military or civilian capacity. Now, an additional way to really build your network is to start joining different groups and associations. Once you participate in these groups and associations, it will give you insight into just different opportunities that are available and different people to connect with. Honestly, for connecting with individuals, you do want to connect with like individuals. So someone maybe that transitioned out of the military, or someone that was also a military spouse and has a similar background to yours. Then take it to the next level by doing advanced searches to see who these individuals are and what ones are working for companies of interest. One way to do that is to actually go into the search engine and type in the company of interest. Then go down to the People tab, which will bring up, in many cases, hundreds of thousands of individuals. At this point, you can do a filter. And when you do your filter, you can type in for past companies, US Army, for example, and then it will bring up all Army veterans working for that organization. So there's a few different ways to do tailored searches based on location, past companies, and of course, even roles of interest. Now, once you do filter to your specifications, then reach out to those different individuals. And typically, after doing our research, we found that usually out of every 5 messages that you send to a point of contact, 1 will respond. So start reaching out to different individuals and see if they can connect with you so they can really outline, hey, look, this is the day in the life with this organization. Here's how you'll like working in this set capacity. Now, before doing any of this, make sure that your profile is actually complete. To do so, you have to have your profile picture updated, you have to have your experience section filled out, and you have to have at least 3 skills identified. So those are just a few different criteria for having, of course, this complete profile. Now, what I'd recommend doing is building your network as much as possible and seeing what opportunities are out there.